earlier we are just going blind. I can say rather, it was just blindly we are following it.
Okay.
Sir, thank you very much for giving us this light and really amazing.
So how many of you feel this is inspiring? Type it as inspiring in the chat box. Yes, Mr. Ankit Kumar, right? This is one of the sharing of my member who is in the community, right? Where his success story. And the reason why I have shown you this is, if he is able to do, I'm sure everyone can do it, right? I'm sure everyone can do it. And yes, whoever are complete beginners, or whoever are completely or just starting out in their investments, or whoever I've been investing for a very long period, I'm just entering into companies just because I have heard that name, just because someone have discussed about it. I heard from my friend, I have heard from my colleague, I have heard from my relative, or I saw that in a social media, in a Telegram, in a YouTube, some influencer has recommended. Instead of blindly entering, have a process, have a system, have an exit mechanism, right? Many people overestimate what they can do in the next 1 year or 3 years, but they underestimate what they can do in the next 5 years, 10 years, right? If you learn the process, it will help you for a very, very longer period. And there are people in my community where they act as a full-term investors also, right? As a full-time investors, full-time traders also. But for that, build a system, no trial and error. I want every one of you to type in the chat box, I will learn. Type it as IWL, right? This is not a PhD. You need not have too much of a high IQ, or this is not rocket science. If you have the intent to learn, either you're a beginner, an intermediate, or you're an advanced investor, if you have a system, if you have a process, you can make wonderful returns in the market and in any market scenario, right? Any market scenario. Even, sir, in the last month or in the last couple of days, there is a downfall in the market. I can name a lot of stocks which has overperformed the market. If you know how to play, you can play in any field, in any market scenario, right? I'm good to see there are a lot of people who are ready to learn. If you are ready to learn, my support will always be there. And yes, stock market is a learnable skill. Everyone can learn, right? Everyone can learn. And yes, Mr. Ajay, right? Sir, I joined this community on 3rd September and great learning since then. I had only 2 stocks in my DMAT, which are ESOPs given by my earlier employers. Now I built a portfolio of 25 stocks in the last 45 days, and 18 stocks are above 15 to 18%. I've made partial profit booking 75, 28, and 27 in 3 stocks since then. Growing with your guidance, thanks a lot, right? Like this, I can show you multiple examples, multiple case studies. So this is just a proof that you also can do it. Everyone can succeed, right? Everyone can succeed. Now it's your turn, because I'm sure every one of you are also as smart as these members whom you have seen. You are also capable and you deserve it, right? And you deserve it. Now, I'll ask a quick question. How many of you feel, sir, I need a financial guru, or I need a financial coach, or I need a financial mentor to me? Type it as guru in the chat box, right? How many of you feel you need a financial guru who can help you to succeed in your entire journey, right? In any area, the topmost people have a coach or a mentor, because a mentor can see what you cannot see, and a mentor can shorten your journey towards your success. For example, if I ask you to move from a starting point to an ending point, right? This is your start and this is an end. You can travel in different directions, you get stuck, right? You travel, you get stuck. You travel, you get stuck, right? Because this is just trial and error, right? Trial and error. But if you have a mentor, and yes, a mentor, if he directs you, yes, this is the path which you can follow in order to reach your success. So a mentor or a guru will help you to cut short your journey towards your success. How many of you agree with me? Type it as agree in the chat box, right? Type it as agree in the chat box. And yes, you can do everything on your own, but it takes your own sweet time. But if you have a guru or a mentor, your destination you will reach much faster by having a guru, right? By having a guru. And now, most important, what I am going to share with you today, I don't want you to share it with anyone else. And yes, as this masterclass I've arranged it free for you, it does not mean you take it for granted, right? I want every one of you to keep this, whatever we are going to discuss in the next couple of minutes, to keep it as a secret, because this is one of the very, very powerful learning which has helped a lot of investors and traders, right? Lot of investors and traders. Now, the same example, Blue Dart Express, right? Blue Dart Express. What I'm going to do, let us learn about an indicator, right? Let us learn about an indicator, right? Now, we'll discuss about exponential moving average, right? Exponential moving average. So, this is an indicator, even though you are a complete beginner, I want you to focus here, right? I want you to focus. Normally, this indicator, exponential moving average, will give you buying and selling decisions. And this indicator itself, in my community, I've discussed for almost like a 2 hours. It's a 2 hours long discussion, but I'll try to explain in a much simpler way so that you'll be able to grasp it. But someone who are very serious, I'll also tell you how you can access it in the community section course also after the end of this discussion, right? But try to grasp this information. Even though you're a beginner, you can follow. Just focus this, right? Focus on this. So EMA, which is exponential moving average, is an indicator which will give you buying and selling decisions, right? So this blue line is your EMA on a weekly time frame, right? And this is on a 30 weeks, we draw an EMA line, right? EMA line. And these candles, whatever you are seeing, green and red candles, is your stock price movement, right? This Blue Dart Express, when it is moving, the candles reflect the price, the stock price movement. And whenever the candles are above your EMA 30, this blue line, you can be in the stock. Whenever the candles are moving below your EMA 30, you need to get out of it. How many of you have got this? Type it as got it in the chat box. Type it as got it in the chat box, right? Whenever the candles are moving below your EMA 30, you need to get out of it, or that is a reflection that the stock is becoming weak, right? That the stock is becoming weak. And if you see here, sir, yes, in 2010, I have missed it. But 2012, yes, the stock is above my EMA 30. You can average up. You can add more. But during this period, 2016, when it has started moving below your EMA 30, this is the period where you need to get out of it, right? Where you need to get out of it. Because it is becoming weak on a EMA 30 weeks. If not here, you need to exit here. If not here, you need to exit. But someone who do not have a process and just averaging down or entering into a company which is declining, they will add during this period. That is where your maximum wealth is destroyed, right? Maximum wealth is destroyed. How many of you feel this is a Bulbon? Type it as BO in the chat box, right? Type it as BO, Bulbon. We'll discuss a lot of examples, right? We'll discuss a lot of examples like this, because that's the power of a system, right? That's the power of a system. Even I'll give you few more examples, right? I'll give you few more examples. How many of you drink Pepsi, Slice, Mountain Dew, Fanta, right? Or even your children, right? Your spouse. Sir, my spouse drinks Mirinda, 7-Up, right? The company which distributes this is Varun Beverages, right? VBL. And if you see Varun Beverages, even from 2020, COVID period, right? Even from COVID 2020, Corona time also, the stock has been completely above your EMA 30. It did not give any exit, right? It did not give any exit. And even if you have not added VBL during 2021 or 2022, sir, I've identified it in 2023. Even still, in 23 also, if you have averaged up, it would have given a wonderful return till date. That's the power of a system, right? That's the power of a system, right? So So indicators or even the charts, technicals will help you to spot them, right? Will help you to spot them. And the best part is whatever you are learning here is not only applicable on stocks, it is applicable on index as well. Or even like you apply it on certain stocks like a Blue Dart Express, Warren Beverages, or even BSC Limited, right? Bombay Stock Exchange. You see here Bombay Stock Exchange from 2020 almost till 2022, you can be in the stock, right? Because it is above your EMA 30. And during this period, from 2022, almost 2023, it has moved below your EMA 30. You get out of it or you reduce your position. And from 2023 onwards, again it has started to move above your EMA 30. How many of you are loving this, guys? How many of you feel, sir, this is more a logical way of entering into stocks? Type it as logical in the chat box or type it as L in the chat box. How many of you are loving this? This is not emotional investing. You are having a process for it, right? You are having a process. Similarly, sectors. Many people just, as I told you, everything we learn, we just connect the dots. So even though you are completely new or you are experienced investor, you will understand, sir, yes, this is the process which I am missing. Couple of minutes before I have asked you which are the sectors which will do good. The same learning, whatever we are applying here, is applicable for the sectors also, right? For example, Nifty Pharma, right? If you see Nifty Pharma as an index, sir, yes, I think Pharma will do good. So yes, even from 2020, even till date, if you see, right, Pharma as an index has been doing well. And even from 2023, it has picked up wonderful strength, right? It has picked up wonderful strength, right? And as you see here, right, as you see here, from 2020, it has been above your EMA 30, right? Above your EMA 30. And the best part is charts will not only tell you the past information, based on the charts for the last couple of months or the last couple of years, the future projection also you can expect, right? If someone asks me, sir, whatever happened till now is fine. I wanted to know the future. I wanted to know what happens in the next 3 years, 5 years. Please understand the fact, stock market is not forecasting. It's not like weather forecasting. Tomorrow it will rain. Day after tomorrow it will be dry, right? Stock market is a place where you connect all the dots, where you take all the odds in your favor and you take decisions. No one can say that in the next 1 year market will improve, market will decline. And if anyone says, it should be either God or he is just bluffing. You need to take the factors which are in your jurisdiction, which is there in your control, and accordingly you have to play as per the market direction. Right now, market is very dynamic, right? Very dynamic. For example, how many of you know how to check the data of indices, right? Type it as yes in the chat box. If you do not know, type it as no in the chat box, right? Type it as no, right? No. So even you're a beginner, let me share my screen. We have niftyindices.com as the platform, right? niftyindices.com, right? So Nifty indices, once you go to the indices here, you have all your indices here, like your Nifty 50, Nifty next to 50, Nifty mid cap, Nifty small cap. Sir, I'm a beginner. I do not know anything about market. You go to niftyindices.com website, go to indices, and under equity, these are all the broad-based indices. So these are all the Nifty 50 companies based on the total market capitalization. You get to know all the 50 companies, right? For example, your right, all your top 50 companies based on market capitalization will be here. Sir, I wanted to know what are all the small cap companies. You click on the Nifty small cap, and all the small cap companies you will be getting here, right? Your Polymed, BASF, PPL Pharma. These are the companies which are in this category, right? And even Polymed in the healthcare space, very good company. BASF, pharma related company, wonderful business, right? Even here you have sectoral indices, thematic. Sir, I wanted to be there in the housing related companies, right? Housing related companies. Sir, I wanted to be there in the energy based sector, energy based theme, right? Even the strategy. I wanted to be in the Nifty 500 multi-cap momentum quality 50 companies. Those companies which are in a high momentum based on the fundamentals and the technicals, it will be there, right? So by having a system or by having a process, you'll be closer to achieve your goal of your financial freedom. How many of you feel, sir, yes, whatever I am learning here is like gold. Type it as gold in the chat box. Or if you feel, sir, it is diamond, if it is platinum. Because whatever you are learning here, right, you will not be learning anywhere. Right? You will not be learning anywhere. So we discuss some more examples also. The point which I want you to understand is, if you know which tool to use, if you know what is the process, if you know what is the strategy, just you keep following that, you'll be succeeding, right? You'll be succeeding. You do not do anything just based on your intuition, just based on some emotional way. If you are taking a call, the chances of success will be very, very low, right? Chances of success will be very, very low, right? Thank you, everyone. Diamond, sir, platinum, gold, excellent. Thank you, Mr. Prateek. Thank you for that, right? So if you are very serious in your learning, my support will always be there, right? My support will always be there, okay? And yes, these three secrets, whatever we have learned today on, yes, identifying stronger sectors, identifying stronger stocks, right? For example, your pharma index, or even on the FMCG energy index, if you see, once it is above your EMA 30, or as it is trending, or the stocks which are trending, be there. Second secret, exiting losing stocks as soon as possible. We have also used an indicator like EMA to give you exits. We have Donchian, we have relative strength. Indicators is a pure mathematics, which is a combination of price and volume, and it will help you for your exits also to happen. Third, adding more into the winning stocks, right? Adding more into the winning stocks. Sir, yes, I've identified a strong company and I've invested into it. And after that, don't forget about that company. If it is a successful winning company, add more into it, right? Add more into it. What majority of the people do, sir, I've added into a stock, it has given 100% profit, sir. It has given 80% profit. But the problem is, right? But the problem is, when I ask him or her, how much you have invested? Sir, I've just invested 10,000 rupees out of my entire portfolio of 10 lakhs. How many of you feel it's a bad decision what he has taken? Type it as bad in the chat box. Out of a 10 lakh portfolio, he has just invested 10,000 into a stock which has given 80 or 100% return, which means he has just invested 1% of his portfolio. What you need to do, if it is a winning stock, add more into the winning stock. Add more. Increase your position sizing. Increase the portfolio position of that stock higher so that it will help you on your overall portfolio. Okay? Now, let's do a small activity, guys. I want every one of you to be here, right? I want every one of you to be here. Let's do the affirmations, right? Let's do the affirmations. Okay? So, whatever I discuss now, these affirmations, I want every one of you to repeat with me, right? Repeat with me. Even though anyone is there beside you, it's fine. Repeat it loud. I'm an excellent money manager. Repeat it with me. I always pay myself first. I put money into my financial freedom fund every day. My money works hard for me and makes me more and more money. I earn enough passive income to pay for my desired lifestyle. I work because I choose to, not because I have to. My part-time business is managing and investing my money. Now I'm sure every one of you here will be making passive income. So let's do affirmations for passive income. I create my life I create the exact amount of my financial success. I play the money game to win. I admire and model rich and successful people. I believe money is important. Money is freedom. I get rich doing what I love. I am truly grateful for all the money I have now. My capacity to earn, hold, and grow money expands day by day. So after doing these affirmations with me, how many of you feel, sir, I am more charged now? I am more excited now. Let me know in the chat box. And how many of you feel, sir, yes, I will achieve my financial freedom? How do you feel? Type it in the chat box. If you feel great, type it as great in the chat box. Sir, I'm really loving it. Type it as loving in the chat box, right? Type it as, because the problem is, you know, you can succeed, but just you listen to someone or you take someone else's sad story. Someone have lost money in the market. They have lost money in the market because they did not invest properly. They did not have a system. They're just investing blindly. They lose money. You need not be that case. If you are ready to learn, I'm sure everyone can succeed, right? I'm sure everyone can succeed. And also, yes, let me tell you, what are all the major problems you may face, right? What are all the major problems you may face? First things, no financial process for retirement. And how many of you in the live session who are having these problems, type it as me in the chat box. Yes, sir, I do not have a financial process for retirement. I'm very close to retirement, or in another 10 years, 20 years, I'll retire, but there is no financial process, sir. Type it as me in the chat box. No financial strategy for children's education and children's marriage, right? I have a small kid, sir, a baby girl, a baby boy. Their education or the marriage expenses will be high. I know that because the inflation is increasing. But I don't have a strategy, no financial planning for that. How many of you have this problem? Worried about single source of income? How many of you here are working in IT segment, or are working in the banking segment, or working in a corporate where you're always worried, sir, I don't know when I'll be fired? Even there are people who are at a very senior position where they're getting a very high package. Now the youngsters with a great productivity, great output, with a lower salary is more attractive for the corporates. How many of you are worried about single source of income? Type it as me in the chat box, right? Me in the chat box. And poor exit strategies. Sir, I've been investing for the last 10 years, 20 years. I have some companies which are giving me sleepless nights. I do not know how to exit weak stocks, weak companies, right? All these are the major problems which majority of the members are facing. And if any one of you are having these problems, I want you to buckle up and yes, learn how you can succeed. And I want you to come out of these problems as early as possible, right? I want you to come out of these problems as early as possible, because the more the time you delay, the more you are delaying your success. And always remember, money loves speed, right? Money loves speed. Type it as MLS or type it as money loves speed. Many people say, sir, I'm not able to earn, I'm not able to attract money. Why? Because the fundamental principle of money is it loves people who take faster decisions. It loves people who have speed, right? So you have to take decisions faster and start taking action from now, from today. People ask me, sir, when is the best time to invest? The first and the best time to invest is yesterday. If you have missed that, the second best time to invest is today. How many of you agree with me? Type it as agree in the chat box, right? Agree in the chat box, right? The first best time is yesterday, and the second best time is to invest now, today, right? Today. And yes, now what I will do, I'll just show you the entire journey in this financial freedom implementation program. Even though you're a beginner or you're just starting out, this should be your process, right? Even though you're a beginner, we have daily finance practice sessions where every day you learn from me. With the live session for a half an hour. It will be a live session. And yes, your second milestone should be, yes, I need to make a profitable portfolio in the next 3 months, right? Your goal should be in the next 3 months, I have to make a profitable portfolio. And the second milestone, to beat index by minimum 10% and above, right? If index, your Nifty 50 has given 10%, you have to make 20% and above. You have to beat index by more than 10% and above. The next milestone would be to make a monthly passive income, right? Monthly passive income. This is the milestones where you need to keep in your investing journey. And yes, for this, we have we work on the mindset wise, and even I as a community lead, right? Or as I as a community mentor, I always believe in charity. How many of you believe in charity? Type it as charity in the chat box, or type it as me in the chat box, right? So whatever you are earning or whatever you are making profit, I always believe giving back to the society, right? Do not be only a receiver. We have been receiving a lot of things. Be a giver also, right? We as a community stand that give 10% every month as a charity, right? As a charity. How many of you believe this? Type it as charity or me in the chat box, right? Don't be only a receiver, be a giver also. And the rule of nature is, the more you give, the more you get in abundance. I repeat, the more you give, the more you get in abundance, right? And yes, we have monthly goals, right? Monthly goal card.